Welcome back to KTV Knife Television. I am your host, Cowboy C-Bop. And guess what, guys? It's not a knife video today. But, hey, you might be interested in this story. All right? Um, Something almost magical had happened to me a few weeks ago. And if you guys like the movie Jaws, well, you might appreciate this story. 50 years I have been a fan of this film. And I'm talking just one of those obsessed crazy fans, right? No, not really. But still, Steven Spielberg, the genius. Okay, so my daughters, my one daughter's husband, and my grandkids, we took a trip out to Cape Cod. And of course, we visited Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. I highly recommend it if you guys ever get the chance. Now we were about 2 weeks, from the big 50th anniversary celebration, so that was like over, but not really. Like almost anywhere you go, there are still, Jaws, this, Jaws, that, lots of merchandise. Okay, and so we're having a great time, and I'm not going to give you the exact date, but second week of July, we took a trip to we took an Uber to a place called Chatham, which I never heard of. We went to a restaurant called the Wild Goose, and we were doing a lot of walking around, lots of walking around, and my hips started to hurt, my legs started to hurt, and we had eventually called another Uber to take us back, and I was sitting on this flower garden, right, and at this point, I got my cane. I'm wearing a yellow raincoat and a camouflage Cape Cod hat. I'm watching the grandkids. There's a lot of people walking. All of a sudden, this man crosses the street, and he's got like two or three people with him. And he was speaking with this gentleman who had like a gray bulldog. I'm pretty certain it was a bulldog. And my daughter looks at me and says, "That's Steven Spielberg." And I'm like, "No, nah, it's just somebody that looks like him." But I kept looking at him. And he had a small conversation with this guy who had the bulldog. And when he was done, he walked past me 4 or 5 feet, and I'm just sitting there looking at him. And we made like a 6 second eye contact. And he smiled. I smiled back. We gave a nice polite nod. And as he went on, now he's about 20 yards down the way, talking to some more people. And I'm like, was that really Steven Spielberg? Turns out it was. Talk about a missed opportunity. Steven, I apologize. If you ever see this, I am so sorry. I didn't jump up, shake your hand, get a selfie, whatever. Right? But you know what? I heard that these celebrities kind of like to go there to get away from all that. But still, all right, being a fan for 50 freaking years, I would have at least liked to just shake his hand. So I know that he's probably losing sleep over this. He's probably like, why didn't that guy say anything? You know, he must have been scratching his head like, am I losing it? No, you're not. It was a long day, and I just wasn't sure. I really wasn't. But yeah, it turns out it was. And I don't know if I'll ever get that moment back again, but that was really something. I mean, there he was, the genius, you know, E.T. Close Encounters, Indiana Jones. Come on, the list goes on. And plus, you know what? He's a fellow Sagittarius, which is very cool. Right? I'm a Sag. He's a Sag. So, like guys like us, we don't really want to be bothered too much. So I think the nod, you know, of acknowledgement was good enough, but I was still unsure. Anyway, um, so yeah, I'm kind of full of regret there, but I apologize. I think I did the right thing. You know, just leave him alone. Yeah, so I've been a huge fan since 1975. Jaws, Rocky, Rambo. Like they are my top three right there. First Blood, I should say. Um, just, you know, huge fan of all three. Yes, I'm a big fan of a ton of movies, but those three are definitely my all-time favorites. And I could still watch Jaws to this very day and catch something new. Each and every time. And I'm going to show you just a few little trinkets here, some souvenirs, mostly T-shirts. But I highly recommend if you guys could ever get out to the Cape Cod, you know, uh, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket. I highly recommend, and I do plan on going back one day. And one of the highlights, I had a couple of highlights other than missing my moment of opportunity to meet Steven Spielberg. The one was we went to this restaurant called The Wharf. That is actually owned by Jeffrey Voorhees. Well, I think he doesn't own it anymore, but I'll leave you guys a small clip. There's still like it's a pub and in Martha's Vineyard, and it's got a lot of like Jaws memorabilia, photos, things like that, and also the famous scene in Jaws. We call it the bridge scene, where you see the girl standing on a rock going, she's got the headband on, bandana, and she's like, shark, shark. Well, that's a bridge. That is really a bridge. And now people just like to go visit and jump off it. You know, that's pretty wild. I didn't do that though, but I will leave you guys a couple of clips of the wharf and I really did. I felt like I was in Amity. I really, really did. Checking out some of the Jaws filming locations. It was, awesome. It just really was awesome. Anyway, um, in case Steven's watching this, yes, I was the guy in the yellow raincoat. Here's a picture of me. This is the day that we met Steven. This was some like resort. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but the Uber had taken us here shortly after seeing Steven Spielberg. Yes, I was the guy in the camo Cape Cod hat, and that's my two daughters. That's my oldest, Taylor and Cassidy. Look at this scene. And here's a picture of me and the grandkids. Yes, I was exhausted, guys. It was a long day. But check this out. Went to the wharf that's owned by Jeff Voorhees, and I saw these shorts and I couldn't refuse. The Alex Kittner shorts. It says, what's it say? The home of the Alex Kittner, the pub. All right, close up on there. And what else here? What else? Getting leaves, hair on it. The wharf. Let's see what else here. This is a Vineyard Vine shirt. Love it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Guys, I like this one. With the flag on the sleeve. Amity PD. Also by Vineyard Vines. And this is one of my favorites too. This is the famous bridge scene. And of course, the shirt that I'm currently wearing. This is one of the first production shirts that they were wearing while filming Jaws. All right, so I'm going to leave you a couple little clips, one inside the wharf and also the bridge scene. So, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this. I apologize, it's not a night video. I don't know how much attention this video will gather, but you know, I'm just hoping it does get to the right person. Once again, I apologize, Stephen. I know you desperately wanted to meet me. I am Cowboy Sebop. But you, yeah, I think you got more of a resume. So, again, I apologize. Thanks so much for all you do. And, hope to meet you one day. All right. One day soon. All right. Take care. And maybe see you at the Jaws 100. You never know.